Hi, my name's Martin and I'm from Walks. We're working here today with Parkinson's UK to bring you exercises that you can do at home or you can do outside to make your walking better, to feel that you're standing taller and to feel that you can get more exercise when you're out for a walk. I'm joined by Jill, who's going to be using a chair for support, and I'm going to be working with Lucy, who is going to be using no equipment, so she's going to have to work a little bit harder here. And I'm going to be using Walks poles. I'm going to be using the poles for support and for postural lift. Make sure that you've got water nearby if you need it. Make sure that you have a phone available if you need it. And if you need to rest at any time, then please take that rest. So let's get ourselves started. We're going to start first by warming ourselves up, getting ourselves moving. If you have poles, push down on the poles and feel that you've got the lift. We're going to work into our ankles. So lift one foot. We're going to circle our ankle one way and then circle the ankle the other. This is really useful if you're outside because it helps you deal with uneven ground, helps keep you more stable while you're walking. So we'll always start with a gentle ankle mobility. And let's just step on the spots there. I'm going to talk about square movements and triangular movements. Here, when I'm stepping on the spot, just want you to be aware that you're probably coming down flat-footed. The movement, if I think about squares, I'm thinking here that my hip and my knee and my ankle are square. We're going to talk about triangles in a little bit. Let's think about that now. So bring one foot forward, one behind, and rock backwards and forwards. And now I'm starting to think about triangles. I'm thinking about the shape of my legs and the gap between my feet forming a triangle. And when we walk, much better if we can think about this rather than flat-footed, that we're rolling through our feet and getting some push off the toes. Let's change sides. So the other foot comes forward and you rock backwards and forwards. You getting on okay? Good. Remember, if you find that balance is challenging, you can hold on to a surface as Jill is. And even with Lucy, if she had something nearby and she wanted to change from having no support to just holding on briefly onto a surface, that's absolutely fine. You can do the same. And now let's step on the spot again. So again, we're going for a square movement here. And I want to think about this triangular movement and a swing from the hip. So from here, let's swing our legs forward and back. If you have the poles, just push lightly down on the poles. You'll feel that you get some postural lift. Can you feel that in your tummy? Swinging from your hips. Good. And let's go back to stepping on the spot. Did you notice as you went stepping back on the spot that your posture dropped a little bit? Let's swing from the other hip. So swing from your hip. Just swing as high as you feel comfortable. Can you feel your tummy engage a little bit and you're standing a little bit taller? Let's just go back and do that again. All this time we're warming up our hips and our knees and the muscles of our legs. Let's go back to swinging the other hip. And change legs. And if you have the poles, you can push down to get a little bit more lift. We want to start using the poles to make this a total body exercise. Good, and step on the spot again. We're now going to focus on the arm swing. So I'd like you here, if you've got the poles, you can punch out a little bit, but if you are comfortable to, you're going to hold the poles and we'll stop stepping, but just swing your arms from your shoulders. And if you're holding on to a surface, Jill may swing on one arm, she's using the chair here for support, and then she may step across and use the other arm. Good. Now as you swing from the shoulders, we're warming up the joints, the shoulder joints. We're starting to bring in a little bit of rotation into our trunk as well. Very often when people walk, particularly if they walk with poles, there's a tendency to move at the elbow. So let's just do that now. And this is again is a square movement. Think about the shape of my elbow. I want to go for a triangular movement to swing your arms from your shoulder. Let's feel what that does for your body. So if you go back to the square movement, swinging from your elbows, feel what happens to your tummy muscles when you swing from the shoulder. Can you feel that you lift just a little bit? You're standing that little bit taller. Let's do it one more time. So I go from the elbows. You may notice that you lose a little bit of height, but then swing your arms from your shoulders and you're standing that much taller. Let's make that movement slightly larger. Now as I start to swing from my shoulders, I also start to rotate in my trunk. So you may feel that yourself. So let's warm up our backs a little bit more. With the poles, you have a couple of choices. You can either place your poles down and just gently turn from side to side, or you can lift the poles, and Lucy's going to lift her arms out to the side. Jill's going to do one side at a time, and we can just start to gently rotate. You may want to take your feet a little bit further apart so you feel stable here. And then begin, if you're comfortable to, and only if you're comfortable to, you can start to shift your weight from one foot to the other. Good. Remember, you don't have to do this. If you feel that you want to move less, then just make the movement slightly smaller. If you need to have a rest at any point, then have a rest. So these exercises are warming up your body, as I said earlier, for walking outside. So you can use this as a warm-up before you go walking, or you can stop in a park and do the exercises there. But let's just run through it all one more time to work the whole body. We'll move a little bit quicker through it this time. So we're going to start with our ankle. Lift, use the poles, lift your body, feel your tummy engage. The poles are really good. They're not just there for support, they're there to help lift you into better posture, a better position. Start to circle your ankles. Just remember, this is going to help you stay mobile through your ankles, stay stable when you're walking. Let's change sides. Push down on the poles again. Feel the lift. Lift the foot and circle your ankle one way. And circle your ankle the other. Let's move into the foot roll. So rocking backwards and forwards. You're coming from your heel onto your toe. If you want to make this slightly more challenging, try to come right the way up onto your toe and right the way onto your heel. But remember, if that's not right for you, if that's not comfortable, then just trying to shift your weight from one foot to the other as best you can, absolutely fine. Let's change feet to other foot forward. So rocking backwards and forwards. If you're comfortable to, you can rock onto your toes, onto your heel. If you're comfortable with the poles and they're giving you the support, remember, don't grip too tightly, then you can push down on the poles and feel that postural lift. Let's warm up the hips a little bit more, swinging from our hips. Much more challenging for Lucy with no support, so even if you're doing it with no support, you might want to have that support nearby just in case you need it. This is the way we want our legs to move at the hip when we're walking. Let's change sides. Remember, I'm thinking about a triangle shape as I swing my leg forward and back from that back position to the front position. Good. Let's bring in our upper body now. So you can either just punch forward and backward, we want that movement of the shoulder, or you can hold the poles, hold them halfway down. The weight of the pole is acting like a pendulum now, so that's going to encourage the arm swing, and you can try to increase the degree of arm swing. Try to swing right the way forward. Feel if it's equal on both sides. If it's not, that's fine, but if you can try to swing your arms a bit further, that's great. Can you feel your tummy engage? If you go back just briefly, bending from the elbows, you might feel that your shoulders tense up. We don't want that to happen, so let's swing from the shoulders, standing tall. Feel your tummy engage. We're getting a bit of rotation, so let's enhance that. Holding the poles across you if you have poles. Hold wide if you have poles, and then from there just gently turn side to side. Good. If you are comfortable to, you can shift your weight from one foot to the other. And just as a final point, I want to bring this into your walking and how you walk. So if you step on the spot, while you're watching this, I'm just going to demonstrate the changes that thinking about triangles rather than squares might make to your walking. I'm going to walk across to demonstrate here. If I think square movements, count how many steps it takes you to get from one point to another. So if I turn round slowly with the poles here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it took me 7 steps there. If I think triangles and I straighten my arms away from me, particularly with the poles, I'm pointing them forward, I'm going to swing from my shoulders, and I think triangles, I'm going to roll through my foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 steps it took me there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rather than the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So perhaps you, when you're outside, can go walking, maybe take a point between 2 trees, count how many steps it takes you if you're not thinking about how you walk, and then think about walking well, whether you have poles or don't have poles. Swing your arms from your shoulders, push off your toes, get the roll through your feet, and count how many steps it takes you then. We hope you enjoy your walking. We'd like you to take this and use this outside. You're very welcome to come and do this video again. And please do check out the other videos on the Parkinson's UK YouTube website. Enjoy your walking.